Welcome to Mimi's Kitchen. Well, y'all, it's been a wonderful day. We got some of that much needed rain, and it's still raining and promises to rain probably on through the night and maybe some tomorrow. So we're very grateful because everything was just so dry. Last week I had an exciting event to go to. My oldest great grandson, he's 6, graduated from kindergarten. And y'all, that was the cutest thing. And he looked so handsome. He had on his little shirt, and they had him a bow tie made with his monogram on it. And he just looked so grown up. It just kind of made me want to cry. But anyway, they have a way of growing up on us, don't they? Like they say, the days are long, but the years are short. And they certainly are. Because I've got one grandson sitting right over there that's getting ready to graduate from college here pretty soon. And so he's the last one to get out of college. So then we'll have them all out and hopefully make a living. That's his mama video, I mean, she's laughing. Okay, today we are going to make Coca Cola cake. Y'all, this is so good. And it's on page 79 in my cookbook. I'll have to tell you something funny about this Coca Cola cake. I don't know, back a couple of years ago, whenever it was that Clemson won the national championship, they were selling those Coca-Colas with the Clemson thing on. Well, you couldn't find them anywhere. Well, a man from my church works for Coca-Cola. So guess what? I told him, I said, I'll make you a Coca-Cola cake if you'll get me some of those Coca. Hey, it worked. It worked. So I was glad. So sometimes we have to barter, and food is a great item to barter with. Okay, the first thing it calls for is 2 cups of all-purpose flour. So we're going to pour that in our bowl. 2 cups of sugar, and that's just regular sugar. All right. And then a 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Now be sure you use baking powder. I remember one time, oh gosh, I don't know how old I was. I was supposed to be making a pound cake for something for church, and my mama left the instructions for me, and she said baking powder, and I put soda in it. Ooh, that was a mistake. So baking powder. So 1.5 teaspoons. So that's 1 teaspoon. And we will just get this half here. Okay, and then 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And we're not going to measure this. Oh, let's put, okay. Now, you just whisk these ingredients together. Let them get well acquainted. Okay, now that's the first mixture. So now we're going to move on to the second one, and we'll be right back. Okay, step 2. Oh, y'all, I love this recipe. The whole thing calls for 3 sticks of butter. So this next phase, we're going to put 2 sticks of butter in our saucepan. And this is salted butter, just like you would use, you know, for your recipes. And then 1 cup of Coca-Cola. And I'm going to tell you now, use a regular Coca-Cola. Don't use the diet or whatever. Caffeine-free, nothing. Just plain old Coca-Cola. All right? We're going to pour that in here. Turn our eye on. And while we're here, we'll go ahead and set our oven on 350 degrees. That's what we're going to bake it on. And now, next thing is 3 tablespoons of just regular cocoa powder. So that's 1, 2.
Turn that around seconds. There we go.
3. Okay. Now, we'll be back in just a minute when this comes to a boil. We're just gonna let this butter melt and everything get together. And as soon as it boils, then we'll be back and then we'll show you the next phase. Okay, y'all. Now, this is because, see, that's coming to a boil. And so you don't let it continue to boil. You just cut your eye off. All right. Then it calls for 1.5 cups of miniature marshmallows. We're gonna let those melt in there. Y'all, this is so good. We're gonna let those melt, and then we go add these mixtures together and get ready to put this thing in the oven. Okay, they are melted. All right, y'all, we thought that we had that cookbook perfect, but we found just a couple of little discrepancies, and this happens to be one of them. In the instructions, it says to bring this stuff to a boil and then add the vanilla to it. Well, vanilla's not in the ingredients, but I'm gonna tell y'all one thing. With or without vanilla, this cake tastes just about the same. I've never had anybody to eat any of my stuff and said, oh, you left the vanilla out. I've made chocolate chip cookies without vanilla. I've made pound cake without vanilla. Nobody's ever called my hand on it, so I'm not real concerned about that. So, with or without vanilla, all right, that would be like a teaspoon. So, okay, we are going to pour this right here into our pan. Well, I mean my bowl here. That had that flour mixture in it, the flour and the sugar and the other stuff, okay? Now I know y'all gonna ask, why didn't I use my big mixer? Well, I just don't like to. So I'm gonna mix this, put it on low speed. We don't want to throw this thing all over the kitchen. And we'll get this mixed up and then I'll show you the rest of the ingredients. So we'll be right back. Y'all, this is kind of what it looks like. Now, the next thing we put in is 1/2 cup of buttermilk. We'll just add that right there. And that cools that mixture down. And now we're gonna put our eggs in there. That's 2 eggs. And I just kind of beat them together. Mix that in there. Oh my goodness. It would have to be good. All right, the next thing is 2 teaspoons of baking soda. So I keep mine in a container so it will not get lumpy. So that's 2 teaspoons. Mix that in there. All you have to do is just make sure that it's mixed well. You don't want to beat this thing a whole lot. So that is mixed good enough. This is a 9 by 13 casserole dish, and we're going to spray it good. And this is Pam for bacon. I like it because it has the flour already in it. Okay. Now then. Okay, here it is. I've been cooking a lot today, y'all. Okay. Put this in our casserole dish. My other daughter, Katrina, has retired from teaching, and she does subbing now. So there's one school that she goes to most of the time, and so she wanted just to do them a little treat, just appreciation. So I made her 2 pound cakes today, and we cut up strawberries. And guess what? This cake's going to them too. Mm-hmm. All right. We're gonna put this in our oven. And then we're gonna set our timer on 30 minutes. And we'll check it at the end of 30 minutes and make sure that it's done. And then we'll make our icing to go on top of it. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna be doing while this cake is baking. We just got a shipment of cookbooks today. And so we are going to be getting them ready to ship to you. Graham is taking them back to our shipping department, which was one of my extra bedrooms. One of my sisters that comes, I said, oops, I'm sorry. You have to sleep in the shipping department this time. And so that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be getting these all ready to ship out to you. So order yours now. Okay, we're down to the last few seconds here. And we're going to check this and make sure that it's all done in the middle. I can usually tell by looking at it. But anyway, we're going to check it just to be sure. So, see, you can tell it didn't jiggle or anything. So, that's perfectly clear. Oh my goodness, I wish y'all could smell this. All right, we are going to put this over here. Now, we're gonna let that cool for at least 15, 20 minutes or so. And then we'll make our icing to go on it and it'll be ready. So, we'll be right back. Okay, y'all, it's been about half an hour, so our cake is cool enough now. So now we're going to make the icing that goes on it. And oh, y'all, I got a new microwave. Mine quit. Probably I've had it 15 years, so I think I got a lot of use out of it. So now I'm kind of getting used to this new one. So I'll put this in my microwave and I will do 1 minute and let that melt. And it calls for 1 pound, it says a pound of powdered sugar. And so the easiest thing is just to buy it in this box. Or you can buy the 2 pounds, but then you got to figure out what 1 pound is. So this is the easy way. So just put that in there. And then we are going to put in 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's see how that was just a little bit faster than my other one. So so we'll have to get used to that. All right. I'm going to put my mixer in here and just on a slow setting, I'm going to mix this cocoa and this powdered sugar together before I put everything else in. Okay, that's good mixed. Pour this butter in there. So I told you I love it because it has so much butter in it. The cake has 2 sticks and the icing has a stick. All right. Now, you know, we started a while ago, we used a cup of this in the cake. So now this is the liquid we're going to use to kind of do this icing. So I'm just going to pour a little bit at a time because I don't want to get it too thin. So the recipe says 6 to 7 tablespoons. So we'll kind of guesstimate it. Looks like that's probably going to be just about right. Okay, y'all. Now it's nice and smooth, so you can see about the consistency you want it because it's going to work well on that cake. All right, we'll move over here. We'll just just kind of pour this all around.
Smells good.
It smells good, and I wish you could be here. We're gonna let this thing cool good before we cut it. Because what you want is for this icing just to set really good on the cake. Oh, don't you love the corner piece on something like this? That's where all the icing runs down. Ooh. Y'all, doesn't that look good? I know those teachers are gonna love this. And they're gonna have fresh strawberries, and you know what? Those strawberries are gonna be good even on this chocolate. We did the strawberries for the pound cake, but ooh. All right, so there it is. These flowers are out of my yard, y'all. That's a beautiful little hydrangea that I planted in the front. So here we go. We're gonna let that get nice and cool. Okay, our cake is cool now, so I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna cut a piece of this. Isn't that beautiful? Ooh-wee. Katrina's gonna be our taste tester. Now this is what she's taken. We hope it's a surprise to her school. So Katrina, and I put a spoon there for Gary. Is he coming?
He's working.
Oh, he's working. Okay.
It's still warm.
Is it good?
That is good. Perfect.
Okay, y'all heard the expression, we'll work for food. Well, I feed them and they work. And so, and by work, I mean, they are the ones that box these cookbooks up and get everything ready to ship to you. So that brings new meaning to we'll work for food. And so, and Kayleen does too. I feed her too. She does the videos, and Caroline, everybody that pitches in and helps. And so it's just a family affair, I guess you would say. Okay, everybody, I hope y'all have a great rest of this week. Let's pray for some more rain. We surely need it, but we're thankful for what we got. So be good to your family, be kind to everybody, and everybody shine for Jesus.